All right, folks. Now I've got my audio issues all sorted out. I've got Moostert's stash with me here in the virtual studio, as it were.
Hello,
So,
good evening.
let's. I guess let's kick it off. We
Yeah,
got
exciting week.
indeed. You're up first. It looks like.
Kicking off 1-2 within for me. That was a fun game. The thing I dread Dark Elf matchups because it always feels like they fight back very well against me.
Yep.
So I was slightly dreading this matchup, just because of my bad experiences with them this far. But it went pretty well for me in the end. I managed to take out the movement up, agility up Witch Elf, the agility 5 one, relatively early on. Not before it, of course, got a touchdown, but I did manage to knock it out, as well as the kick lineman. I actually didn't have to deal with kick.
Nice.
I did lose another lineman in this
Of course
match.
you did.
So we're now up to Charles the 10th. But other than that, oh yeah, this was a pretty cut and dry match. As you can see, the blocks were relatively even. The armor breaks were are even exactly. He did take 2 more because I believe they GFI'd into like a knockout, I believe.
Oh, that's
or
that you never.
something
You
like
hate to
that.
see that. You hate to see that. I mean, you probably didn't hate to see that, but
No, of course not. After all my bad luck, my first 2 games, I deserved a little bit of good luck.
yep.
And I did get it this game. I managed to get it. He played a really solid game. It really came down to, in the first half, I was able to make a 4+, 4+, 3+ dodge with only the dodge skill reroll.
That's
Um,
yeah. That rolls like that. That'll help.
And a GFI to, I think it was a GFI at the end. It might not have been a GFI at the end. But it really came down to the fact that I was able to make the 4+, 4+, 3+ dodge, which I didn't even pop the dodge skill to do.
Nonsense.
For the first touchdown, and I think that's really what sealed it, because I ended up playing a pretty solid second half that led to a relatively easy score. And I finally managed to get the last SPP on my thrower, and for all of my 1-9s that I have suffered through in my first 2 games, for all of my heartache, I have managed to get an agility up thrower.
Nice.
Which is wonderful to see. It's going to be a godsend. So now I'm just gonna get the 1-36s.
Sweet.
Yeah, that sums up that game pretty succinctly. OpenEye played really well. He definitely played. It was definitely not as clear cut as it may have seemed. He's a good player.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
just lacking the skill. Once he gets those skills on those pieces, he's going to be a very scary Dark Elf player.
Yep. Yeah, he has to start turning down turning down some stat ups at some point.
Yeah.
Like if he just keeps rolling them, like there's only so far you can go with like a strength 5, movement 10 witch elf, right? Like
Witch Elf's going everywhere though. Yeah, that wraps up that game.
all right, well,
Level nothing big on his side, just a MVP landing on a lineman. And that getting its level up. And for me, my MVP also landing on a lineman, which also leveled up, and the level up on the thrower being super nice as well. Getting the agility up will help my team immensely.
yeah, you want to don't have to struggle quite so much on the pickups, among other things.
Now for the biggest shakeup in our
Oh man.
division,
Oh man.
the 0-2 win for you, you versus Big A. It just looks like just from looking at the the injuries right here, pretty much tells the whole story.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it was definitely. Um, I just got really lucky on all of my armor break, all of his armor break rolls. It was,
Oh, for sure.
and it started early. We got,
Hmm.
I think it was either turn one or turn two. I think it was turn one. I think I killed that Lino and then fouled off. I think it was the guard blitzer.
Hmm.
Um, who was up
Yeah,
near the
you
line.
did.
I definitely I definitely fouled someone off like in the first.
Yeah, that it was like
Um,
an 8. Yeah, yeah, that first turn you managed to foul off someone on an 8+ foul that
yeah,
didn't bite you at all. It
I
was
mean the fouling didn't. I fouled most turns and I didn't get. I had a bribe, which is why I was fouled. Like
Yeah, yeah, because you got a
uh,
bribe on the first kickoff event.
right,
Those
and
would be
so
nice.
I just fouled like the whole game and I never paid for it.
Yeah,
it was
yeah, for sure.
ridiculous. It was definitely. Um, yeah, I someone was commenting
Yeah,
about it. Will my head fit on camera? And I gotta say, like,
oh yeah, I lost.
this one is one I credit Nuffle for the win more than anything else. It was.
But I will have to say that despite what you might think and what others might think, I watched the game myself. You displayed a lot of skill there. You got a numbers advantage early, and you really did not let up at all on Big A. As seen by the fact that Big A just wasn't able to get the blocks in after a point, and
Yeah.
you getting a ton of blocks, having 5 frenzy pieces, like you can see it right here. Your frenzy pieces did a lot of work in this game.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Um,
it was the only like win condition I had in this game was get a numbers advantage and then push as hard as I could, because if he started like I wasn't gonna be able to like break into his cage terribly easily. I mean, Frenzy makes that
mhm,
easier if he like caged up and just sort of hung back. But
mhm,
like, I knew that if it was basically the snowball or I get wrecked. Like
exactly.
those were my options coming into this game. And so
Mhm.
once I got those two pieces off in the first like on the first turn on that first drive, I was like, well, we just gotta
You just
keep the
keep
pressure
pushing.
up. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I think
Um,
one thing that helped you out a ton as well is the fact that you managed to. I'm pretty sure you knocked out. I think you injured that mighty blow guard piece, Edmund Kemper, relatively early on, and then you managed to get rid of his other guard piece. I think in the first drive, and then like his KO rolls were crap. They just didn't come back
yeah.
after that.
Yeah. I
And
mean, yep.
removing both of those guard pieces managed to sink you a really huge numbers strength advantage because he just didn't have the guard to react at that point.
Right. And I was like his troll was I would say he was able to keep his troll sort of fairly well positioned, but
Uh-huh.
I had like I remember there was at least one occasion where I was just like my Yeti was slowly I did not notice that it was the disturbing presence that
Yeah,
noticed the
yeah,
the
no.
panic
Yeah,
pass.
your Yeti literally saved you from him completing that pass on the Black Orc blocker at the end. He rolled a 5 on the catch
I
and you
mean,
needed a 6.
even if he'd caught the pass on the Black Orc, like it what I mean, I guess he could have dodged it away from the like taken two dodges and then gone somewhere, but like it
I
was a
mean, it may not have been possible, but it was definitely something that could have happened.
yeah, yep,
And it didn't. And from there, it was pretty much like you could even see it in how Big A was playing towards the end there, as he pretty much played keep away at the end. He
oh
just
yeah,
after
I
that desperation throw, it was pretty much over.
it was before the desperation throw. That
Oh,
was a like he was. I mean, he like I think it was middle of his drive. He basically just was like started backing all his players off. He's like, I'm going to take my cage. I'm going to walk back up the field towards my own end zone. I'm
And
like,
I think that's
okay.
pretty much sealed it right there.
Oh,
When
yeah.
he tried to back up because you, as Lofty pointed out, you really put the pedal on the metal, and he tried to ease up, but you didn't. It really did just kind of seal it from there.
I mean, my read at that point in the game was that he was just trying to preserve pieces. Like, that was keep the rest of his season alive, not try and tie up the game. Like, there...
Potentially.
But, I mean, yeah, I certainly wasn't going to... I wasn't going to let up, like... There was the off chance that it was go back, go lateral, go forward again, and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna have that. Like, we'll just keep pushing, and so
yeah, that was a really fun match to watch. I will say Big A did get a little screwed in terms of armor rolls, but overall, you did play a really solid game against him. You were able to take advantage of your hit very effectively, and you just really pushed him to his limits. Sure, there was luck involved, but you really displayed a bunch of skill that I think a lot of us didn't think you had at this point in time, and it was very impressive. I really commend you on it.
Well, thanks. Yeah, I mean, it felt very satisfying during the game, although I felt bad for him towards the end, because it really did feel like I was just like...
It just turned into a stomp.
Yeah, it really did. I did get a Palmer out of it, so that was that's a key piece of level up. That
yeah, you got your piling on, so he's even more dangerous now, especially with... I envy having jump up immediately.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I am praying that my killer piece manages to roll the doubles so I can get jump up on him.
Yeah.
But he as well got a level up on his killer piece.
Right, MVP on the killer.
MVP.
I'm curious what he'll take on that. Like, I haven't looked at his team. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what we'll see there.
Yeah. Let's see if he leveled it up yet. Juggernaut. He picked Juggernaut, which is that's a pretty good skill to pick up.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be blitzing with that guy anyway. Like.
Ooh,
exciting.
That's an interesting development.
Yeah.
Major. Don't spoil anything in the ending though, Major. I want to watch it for myself.
It was not looking that great at midway through the first half, which is where I had to switch off to go do more dishes.
All right.
Yeah. So what do we got next?
The next one, Lead Pipe making a splash himself, managing to pull out a win. I think that's his first. No, that's his second win of the season, isn't it? Yeah. It looks like the opposite of what happened to your game, where the Norse blew up in King Fu's hands.
Oh, yep.
With we're seeing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean,
pieces. All of them linemen, sure, but
21 armor breaks. Like,
yeah,
that's rough.
This showing the opposite end.
Yep.
Of what can happen to a Norse player if they're not careful. And you can see he didn't get a single casualty on any of his pieces as well.
Yeah.
So that means there was most likely was there any casualties? Yeah. What's his name? Lead Pipe did suffer 2 casualties. So I assume those were GFIs or
I guess they must have been.
Or potential, I think, a dodge that may have resulted in them getting slapped and they're gone.
Yep.
Lead Pipe pulling out a lot of levels here as well. 2 of his blitzer pieces picking up a level and a blocker is really nice.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for King Fu though, not finding any finding very little SPP overall.
Yeah, that's rough.
MVP on the MVP on the Ulf is super nice.
Yeah.
So now it's just 1 casualty away from getting a level.
Right.
but just unfortunate, no SPP anywhere
Mm.
else. Whereas it looks like Lead Pipe pretty much swiped all of it for himself.
Yeah. I mean, walking into the match with only one Ulf is never a great place to be. As Norse.
For sure. So yeah, it definitely just looks like a case of the Norse didn't snowball and instead blew up in his hands.
Yep.
And lost the numbers advantage, and Lead Pipe was just able to keep him on the rope.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 KOs as well. Yeah, there's definitely more pieces that were probably out of the game.
It looks like Fu is really having some dice trouble too, though, because like he took 50 blocks to Lead Pipe's 41.
So the armor dice
barely,
probably.
Yeah, the armor dice were definitely not. I mean, I guess that
favor.
Most of Lead Pipe's team has AV8, so
right.
The numbers are probably not actually totally out of line, but still, it's just he was not getting the rolls he needed. It looks like.
Yeah. Well, that's some wonderful levels for your Lead Pipe that I'm sure is helping him in his match against
Big A. Absolutely.
It's a lot of development. All right, leads into our next game. Goddess versus Super Jail, 1-0 in favor of Valia. Looks like Valia took a small, kind of a beating here. Taking 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces out of the game. Armor break's not that massive though. Now that I'm looking at it, only 9 armor.
Just
9 from Super Jail.
Rolled terribly on injury dice, like 1 KO, 4 CAS.
Yeah, that'll do it. And both teams getting a surf as well.
Yeah.
Definitely saw some pieces leaving during the course of this.
Good levels for Vallejo.
Both on blitzers is super nice.
Yeah.
I know I think one of those blitzers rolled another agility up, so that's a 3rd agility up piece.
Oh wow.
Valia.
I think he said something about about taking piling on.
Yep. They have a Palmer, a tackle Palmer as well. No levels for Super Jail. Unfortunately, they did find some development for their Black Orcs though, which is super nice always. 7 SPP on 1 Black Orc is nothing to scoff at, especially on the guard piece.
So close to leveling all of them up, like except for the one that already has guard. Like, could easily see 3 levels in the next match.
It's just kind of like what's his name, Big A situation right now, where I think 3 of his Black Orcs always block are like 15 and 14. He just needs like 1 random CAS and he can get the level.
Right.
I watched part of it, Valia. I wasn't able to finish it, and I ended up getting busy and just never ended up finding the time to finish it.
Man, 2 Agi up guard blitzers that's
annoying.
Ridiculous.
That's annoying to say the least.
Yeah, right. I mean, I like having my high mobility guard piece with my runner, and Felia's like, well, hold my beer. I'm gonna take. Yeah.
Luckily, not that high mobility though.
No, I mean, but like 6 movement is enough to get them where they need to be, especially if they've got dodge. Like dodge and agi up, they're not staying put.
Right. For sure. All right, and that leads us into our last game of Americas.
Yep.
Heldrum versus Lofty. Lofty taking the win with a 1-0. Looks like 50 blocks from Heldrum and 32 on Lofty's side, and the armor breaks are almost even, honestly.
Yeah.
It does look like Lofty ended up taking more in the end with 13 armor breaks compared to Skullrazer's 9. And
Pretty
from the
low.
looks of things, it looks like a lot of them. Yeah, you can see just on the casualties, there was only one casualty in this entire match, and it was just that lone zombie
Yeah,
that
very
got
low,
knocked out.
low damage.
Both teams taking an equal amount of KOs in this match. Yeah, it just seemed like a match where both teams were punching each other and not finding much ground.
Yeah. I mean, Lofty must have been playing a little more standoffish with the like 50 to 32 blocks. But
yeah, just one of those nothing doing it for both players. You can even see there was a expulsion from the Skull Razors, probably trying to foul with that dirty player piece.
yeah,
And
no doubt.
once again, not finding anything substantial.
Right.
Maybe a knockout at best on it, which always feels sucky, especially against Armor 7.
Yeah. Yep.
Other than that, no levels for Heldrum, unfortunately. Did get the MVP on a mummy, which is super nice. I just realized he has a blodge mummy. That's crazy.
He does have a blodge mummy.
I bet I
I'm not
mentioned it
looking
last
forward.
week, too.
I'm not looking forward
That's
to
crazy.
our match.
That thing's not going anywhere.
Nope.
You just need stand firm and guard. That
Oh
thing
my
is a
god.
pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah.
Lofty on the other hand, getting a pretty nice amount of SPP, but not finding any levels in it.
Yeah.
MVP landing on the very developed Blitzer as well.
Yeah, Albacore's looking very very full.
Punchable.
Yeah, not. It's interesting though. It's probably not the one you want to take piling on, but he doesn't have Muddy Blow anywhere else, so
right.
It's a little bit of a. I mean, I guess you probably take guard wherever you can get it.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting to with my killer piece. Is I've got the tackle in the palm. Where do I go from here?
Yeah.
Juggernaut, Frenzy, possibly.
Yeah. I mean,
or another guard because you can never have enough of it.
Frenzy's real nice.
I think, yeah, but I think if you take the guard, you don't take piling on.
I think that's right.
This point.
Yeah.
Because you're never going to use the guard, or you're only going to situationally use the guard as opposed to always using it.
Right.
So probably not going to see the piling on. Probably like sidestep or, no, they have strength access, not agility. It would be
stand firm.
Yeah, probably stand firm.
Yeah.
Going guard over piling on was very useful in this game, Lofty said. So it worked out for him.
Yep.
It definitely would. I can see why it would. You would have the guard advantage in this matchup, and you have the speed advantage to get away from the mummies for the most part. So getting your punches on the whites and the ghouls will be super helpful naturally. Yeah, that seems like a pretty clear-cut case. And that wraps up America's A's previous week.
Indeed.
And that leads us into the mixed division, starting off with Men of the West versus It's a Lot of Lizards. It's a tie.
Ooh.
A big tie. And not one that didn't come at a cost in this match. Both sides taking injuries, but It's a Lot of Lizards taking a lot more permanence.
Oh, wow.
By that I mean literally all of the injuries here are permanent.
I mean,
two of them luckily are just loner skinks.
Yeah, loner skinks. That's could be worse, but yeah,
one
that's
running away with the MVP, unfortunately. Taking the armor bust on that guard piece probably feels awful.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely awful to see.
Not where you want it. Croc's got the levels. That's
yeah. Yeah, getting a Crocs level at this point is super nice, I assume. Hopefully it's a block doubles, otherwise you're probably going to see possibly stand firm. I know that there's a case to be made on taking a stand firm over guard for the
Hmm.
Crocs,
Hmm.
because keeping that prehensile tail
Right.
on
Yeah, that makes
pieces is
sense.
super nice.
Yeah.
Um, but guard is also an option. Whichever you take the other one. So eventually, um, Manhack not taking any permanents, but you can see a lot of his pieces getting removed throughout that match.
Yep.
Um, two of which were kind of semi-important pieces. One being the thrower with strong arm accurate, and the other one a guard piece,
Yeah.
which should have helped. I did see Althazar saying he wants to put a hit out on that killer piece that
Oh
Manhack
yes, I
has.
I saw that in Discord. Yep. I can
Yeah, I
imagine
remember
why with
seeing that.
three Kaz on it after that game.
Hmm. Yeah, if there's one thing to be said about Manhack, he is not afraid of taking hits with that blitzer and just piling on whenever he can. And getting really lucky with those armor breaks as well. That's something I noticed a lot. Um, and you can see it with the blocks. There were 60 blocks made by the lizards with only 12 or with only 10 armor breaks off of their hit,
Wow,
versus the 29 blocks that Manhack made with more armor breaks, 12
that's
of them.
bonkers. I
Yeah,
mean, it
just in
must have.
that match.
I wonder if that was a lot on the skinks that break easier.
Most likely, yeah. I
Um,
would assume so. Three of the Kazs there were skinks that died.
yeah.
So, and then another one being the uh busted Saurus. KOs wise, Manhack or sorry, the lizards took more KOs in this match than the humans. Definitely a match where the humans got the number advantage despite making less blocks overall. So it was probably a lot of hits on the linemen. As you can see, two linemen getting knocked out
Right.
as well. So it was probably a case of that and just not being able to break the lineman's armor to get away from them with the Sauruses,
Yeah.
Sauri.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Level wise, nothing doing for Manhack. Despite getting pretty good SPP in that match. Just the 5 SPP on the lineman that also got a
Oh
cast in
crap.
that match, so that's super nice.
I'm gotta run. You gotta hold down the fort.
Sure, I can do this. Sounds like his kid woke up and he's got to deal with his kid. So I'll take over from here. It's just gonna be like a podcast. It's gonna be great. Um,
Need backup?
yeah, I could use it for now. Someone to talk to while he deals with his kid.
Yeah, I heard, so I thought I'd pop in. I didn't want to intrude earlier.
No,
You
you're good.
Screams. There was a bitch much last week, but I can cover till he gets back.
Sure. I think we're pretty much wrapped up that match for the Lizards and Manhack, so we can move on to the next one. It's House of Windsor versus the Midnight Special. 2-0 in favor of Cobbs in this match. Definitely looks like a match where the it looks like I believe they're Dark Elves, aren't they?
And what division is that again?
We're in the mixed division.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the Dark Elf team. Dark Elf team bringing the fight to the Amazons and getting nice armor breaks in this match. Or at least the critical armor breaks where it's needed. Yeah, you can see that they badly hurt Zara the Slayer in this, which was induced in this match. So that was probably a really nice injury. So it couldn't get the stabs that they wanted on the armor 8 pieces. Other than that, nothing too huge getting removed on
Looks like the catcher died.
yeah, Forvix side. Yeah, the catcher died in this match. Um which that sucked, especially because it was relatively developed compared to a lot of the teams.
Lodge Stepper's huge.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you can see that through the blocks, it's pretty true that the Dark Elf pretty much took the fight to the Amazons with 43 blocks coming out from the Dark Elves and only 27 returned from the Midnight Special. 14 armor break the Midnight Special took, which is pretty massive in this match. So it just probably came down to a numbers advantage and the fact that having the agility, the extra agility makes agility plays better in general.
And looking at the SPP for the I think elves there,
Mm-hmm.
it looks like a lot of these injuries came off of fouls or surfs or something, because I think you only see one injury found on 2 SPP player.
Oh yeah. The strength up blitzer is the only one that got any SPP, and you can see there's an expulsion on both sides, and a surf coming from the Dark Elves. So it's potentially that those injuries came from getting knocked out into the crowd or getting stomped on.
So there was some dirty blood bowl going on here.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I think that one's pretty clear cut what happened. I think must have been a pretty big TV difference as well in this match. If they were able to induce a whole star player in Zara.
Yeah, it looks like it. That Amazon team looks like a little behind in development.
Mm-hmm. Probably just some unlucky Kaz's taking out some pieces that put them a little behind potentially. Hey Big 8, welcome in. Just so you guys know, yeah, Major pointed out it was a 1610 TV Dark Elves versus 1190 TV Amazons.
Oof, I do.
Yeah, very massive. Just so you guys know, Pickle is AFK at the moment. One of his kids woke up, so he's handling that. And so you're not going to see any changes on the screen. So you just get to listen to my lovely voice, our lovely voices, as we talk about these matches. That wraps up that game, nice and succinct, and leads us into Massacre's game. Actually, a 3-0 win versus Toralar. Which is very big because it was a human versus orc matchup, and
This is a strange one indeed. Despite the blocks and AV breaks, the humans are the ones coming out with all the points.
Yep, 56 blocks coming out from Toralar, being returned with only 38. It just looks like in terms of casualties, Massacre just did not take any casualties. They took KOs, but not casualties. So none of the removals were necessarily they weren't necessarily permanent removals for the game. Versus the strength bust and the badly hurt on the movement up blitzer with sure hands and the dirty player lineman.
The dirty player should still be there.
Yeah, you can see the 2 casualties on the Mighty Blow Blitzer in this match. Definitely helped. And getting a level up on that piece too is really nice. It can go into tackle or piling on depending. So it's sorry, excuse me. It's yeah, just one of those things where the orcs weren't able to do their orc things, but the humans were able to do their humans things. Especially you can see two touchdowns on the movement up thrower and 1 on the catcher, as well as an MVP. That thrower got a lot of SPP in this game. 11 SPP in one game is massive on one piece. I think that wraps up that match nicely. Toralar didn't get any level up in this match, unfortunately. So that leads into our this leads into our next one. It's Major versus Slow Rider, the Deaderpool Reds versus the Orkin Beans. 1-0 in favor of Major. Major pulling out the win in this matchup. Right off the bat, we see a low amount of blocks coming from Major, actually. Holy cow, look at all those armor breaks.
Similar to the last game.
Holy
Except not as many
cow.
points, but
54
doing their
blocks
orc thing,
coming
just not
from
coming out with
orcs,
the win.
and then
20 AV breaks. Yeah.
20 AV breaks on Major is massive. Holy cow. But you can kind of see in the numbers, there was only 6 KOs. I guess that's half the team right there. 6 KOs, only 2 Kazas that stayed, and you can see the Orkin Beans had 2 expulsions, so definitely fouls coming out. And when you look at the casualties on Orkin Beans, you can kind of see both casualties were from punches. One on a black orc blocker and one on the troll. But man, that must have been, that's crazy that Major was able to make it out of this match, or come out with a win in this match. Yeah.
If I had to guess, I would say Major took the ball first and scored. And then he just slowed down the cage by sacrificing pieces to blocks and picking them back up. That's a lot of times when you see orcs lose despite throwing the blocks, it's because the other team knew the orcs can't move around them, so they just kept putting guys in the way.
Yeah, Majors mentions that Regen definitely probably saved his butt in that match as well. And not losing any ghouls is super nice too. So it was probably just zombies getting pushed around all match. No level ups for the Orkin Beans, and taking a nasty armor bust on the Black Orc, the guard Black Orc blocker, super nice. That must have been a really nice removal, on top of the fact that that piece is now he might hold on to it because that is an all-important guard piece. But they'll probably just hold on to it until this other Black Orc manages to get a level, and then they can start working on a new one. Because armor 8 on an orc team just won't fly. Major mentions he didn't score on the first drive, and he said the wizard helped him take the ball on the second half and score.
Oh, okay. See, this is why I'm not a betting man.
Yeah, smart use of a wizard taking the win there. That's super good. That's well done. So despite the odds, Major managing to pull out the win is super cool to see. Major did pick up a nice level on one of their Mighty Blow White, which will be really nice at this point, especially because it looks like both of the whites were sitting at 15 SPP going into this match.
So Major, if you don't mind me asking, did you take all the blocks in the first half then, or the second? Or was it just pretty even all around?
Said he picked up tackle on that white piece, which I definitely see it. Maybe not so much so for his thing. He does have a I think he already faced the Amazons.
Every team has blodgers somewhere though. Almost.
Yeah. Every team's got some kind of form of god at this point.
Having one tackle on your team.
Yeah, at least one, especially on your killer piece, makes them that much more spooky. Which is of course super nice. I think that wraps up that one. That's definitely a game I kind of want to go and watch just because of that major amount of blocks.
All game, okay. So it just didn't let up. Oh, I was talking about his blocks.
Right.
Oh, Major's talking in Twitch chat.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. That's
Oh
great.
wow, yeah, 5 KOs coming back. That's super nice. And that leads us back to our that wraps that one up nice, and we're at our last game. Magical Misery Tour versus the Blizzard Lizards, a 1-1 tie. Jesus Christ, Sora, the Blizzardmen teams are taking a real beating recently, for sure. This week rather, not recently. Well, it is recently, but yeah.
And it looks like we predicted earlier in the last week, that werewolf did some work. I see.
Oh yeah, two casualties off of Claw, Mighty Blow. Probably on two of these Sorai. Probably on the two Sorai here. Possibly on the Skinks. It's always possible. And the Dirty Player zombie getting a Kaz as well is super interesting, because that means that Kaz didn't come from a foul. I think that means that Kaz. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
No,
they got
you don't
SPP.
get SPP from fouls. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that zombie took a block and got it.
And with a pickleback, I will see myself out. It was nice being a stand-in.
Of course.
Thanks for hopping on, Valea.
No problem. I saw you were in need of the kid there.
Yeah. Yes, they're the dulcet tones. Yeah, what do we got?
It's just another case. I mentioned it. We mentioned the other Source game. It's just a case where the Lizards took a real beating this week.
No deaths on the Skinks, though.
Yeah, and this one he got a little luckier. And an Agibust on a Saurus is nothing to care about, I don't think. So that's definitely a...
Aren't they Agi 1 anyway?
Yeah, they're Agi 1, so it's literally just no difference. He just now has a scar, pretty much.
Nice.
A scar on the neck. No level ups on either team. MVP falling on that armor on that Agibusted Saurus.
Yeah, the Agibusted Saurus and the Dirty Player getting the MVPs. Like, I guess Saurus is fine, but the you really don't want more skills on your Dirty Player. Like,
no, you don't, because that's just bloat, and he's getting sent off anyway, and you don't want. What is he? He's 60k right now. He would be 80k on a normals roll.
Yep.
An 80k Dirty Player piece being removed from the field kind of sucks.
Yeah, I mean you gotta make sure his fouls are that much more worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Do you maybe even like would recycle a zombie at that point, like a Dirty Player?
I believe there's some people make a case for a sneaky get. But most people just say if they get a second level, they just get sacked because they're getting removed anyways.
Yeah.
The blocks wise, it looks like Magical Misery Tour really put on the pressure on the Blizzard Lizards.
Yep.
53 blocks coming from Magical Misery Tour versus 34 in return.
They do have
the Misery finding 14 armor breaks is massive.
The frenzy, so that reads to me like it was the Wolves doing a lot of blocks, because frenzy ups the block count, and then the claw will make the armor breaks that much easier.
And it just might have been a case where the amazing Zora wasn't able to find the armor breaks in return, especially with the lack of Mighty Blow on their Sorai in general.
Yeah.
Only Mighty Blow going to be on that Crocs, and as we can see here, the Crocs didn't find any hits that got in.
Right.
They did injure off that guard Mighty Blow White, which is super nice. Definitely taking away their only guard in that match is super nice. Yeah, I don't think there's much else to say about this match.
Yeah.
It seems pretty clear cut, kind of what happened. Yeah, that sucks, that MVP dropping on that Dirty Player. Ugh.
Yeah.
We can start with week 4 now.
Yeah, let's
for
do it.
Nick. They don't have any of their games played.
Right.
So
I don't think we're going to be able to avoid spoilers. Lead Pipe finished the match, and we're going to be reviewing that page. So you're going to see the results.
I usually end up seeing it anyways.
Yeah.
I usually end up seeing it, but the result never tells the whole story. So
True.
First match we got on the list is It's a Lot of Lizards and Major Deaderpool Reds.
Yeah.
1330 Lizards versus 1520 Undead.
So the
Major not the underdog this
no.
time.
The Lizards pulled Slibbly last time. Man, they have no cash. They are so broke.
Oh, they're very broke. They
That is
probably picked up let's see, games played. Yep, they picked up a new Saurus. Because that Saurus has 0 games played.
I guess they lost to Skink last game, right? Wasn't that what we? Oh yeah, their movement up
they lost
Skink.
To Skink, and I'm pretty sure they had an armor busted Saurus too.
Yes,
was that this game?
I think it was.
Yeah.
It was the guard. It was the guard Saurus.
Despite it having armor 8, I would have kept it for now, especially right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they're.
But I can also understand cutting it as soon as possible so nothing else lands on it.
Right.
Because as I learned, people look at permanence and they go, "Oh, this piece is armor busted. That means I can kill it easier." Which is entirely true, and can also roll in your favor, which is what happened with my ogre. People thought, "Hey, this ogre is now armor 8." Turns out armor 8 doesn't bust that easily.
Yeah.
So he soaked up a good amount of blocks despite being armor busted.
It's nice to have that piece that acts as a a lure for. I admit my dirty player in the game with Big A was doing that. I was like I could watch him like, okay, so I put the dirty player out on the side of my rule of 5, that's the side he's going to go for because it's been doing so much damage.
Like the lure, yeah.
Yeah.
People tend to home in. People tend to try to bully dirty players as well, and I can understand it because fouls are scary.
Yeah.
Fouls are really scary. Just rolling a straight armor roll, like, geez.
Yeah, no, it's great.
Versus Major's team, who's much more developed.
Oh man,
especially with the loss of developed Saurus. Major looking in a really strong position. He has the tackle piece in order to go after the one Blodge Skink that he has. So he's going to have, I believe, he only has 8 players, so he's going to have 3 loner Skinks match.
Yep.
Ooh, that's really rough.
So it looks like Major's going to have. Well, so there's a 190 TV difference right now.
Yeah. Major did say TV trim pending.
Yeah, so I was gonna say Major looked. I would guess he would
maybe cut, or he's.
I mean, he's got 190 in cash, so he's probably just gonna for step 1 is just to
bring it down,
get rid of some of that. Yeah, and then. I wonder. Well, he's in. Yeah. Okay. 110.
He mentioned there'll be 110, so it looks like he probably. I don't know what that means actually.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a statement. Have to cut a lot to get down to 110.
Oh, he said there'll be a 1. Okay, I think I understand. There'll be a 110. 110. Yeah, he's firing 2 zombies and he's going to rehire 1.
Okay.
So he's cutting out 1 zombie.
I got it.
So he's going to go down 40k.
Yeah.
And then lose another 40k. So subtract 80k.
Right.
So it'll be 110.
So it'll be 110 difference. Yeah. Okay. That's really not enough to do much for the not going to do much for the Lizards, unfortunately.
Yeah, 100 possibly. Depends on what they think's going to happen. Potentially going to be a If he wanted to go aggressive, you'd see a bribe, and those loner skinks try to take on pieces. But on the flip side of that, going that bribe is kind of dangerous because you're already playing at a player disadvantage
Yeah,
from
I don't
11 players.
I don't see
So you
anything
might
but
just see
babes in
the
this.
double babes.
Like it's gonna be a match where he's like losing his skinks is likely, and so you want to have them as much chance for them to come back on, so you're not stuck with a field full of Agi 1 players trying to pick up the ball.
Trying to pick up a ball. Yeah.
So
Which to say is you're not going to pick up the ball.
Right, exactly.
Staying around.
I
think this one, Major's just got too much development in comparison. He's too far ahead.
Absolutely.
He's got very dangerous pieces as well. He's got a tackle piece that'll take those skinks on. He's got he's got 4 mighty blow.
Oh, jeez.
Not to say that those mummies are going to get their hands on a skink very easily, naturally. But those, it's a match where I can't really see Major losing it because he's at such a good advantage.
Yeah, agreed. All right, so next up we've got Emperor's Chosen, the Massacre, and the Magical Misery Tour. Massacre's been making them
plays.
yeah, he's definitely been doing well in his last few matches. Looks like he's got a Palmer strength up blitzer with a movement bust. Dirty player.
Got the dirty player lineman and a tackle block lineman.
Movement up block thrower.
Super nice. Very nice to have.
Yeah. On the other side, Misery Tour's got the Mighty Bill Werewolf. Does he? Oh, he didn't get any levels, I think, is what we.
No, yeah. I don't think he got any levels in his last match.
So nothing pending.
He's got a Mighty Blow guard white, which will be nice.
Yeah. He'll also have 100. He'll have 100 in inducements. I could see the bribe here because he's got a bench. He's got a dirty player.
Yeah,
I think a bribe could do some
work. If he wanted to go even farther, he could fire that movement busted zombie, get 40 extra K in inducements.
True. I mean, not. I guess you could
just 10K short, so he could scum the wizard.
Yeah.
If he wanted to just only spend 10K, get a wizard, so that's a potential route too.
Yep.
But I could see the bribe because looking at his match, he was definitely, I think he had 2 expulsions, so he was very heavy on the fouling. I think it was him that had double expulsions.
Yeah, I don't recall. That was the last match we looked at, but I don't recall what the
Massacre says this is going to be the first game where he's playing TV up on somebody. So
yeah.
Hey, it's an experience.
Yep. My money would be on the bribe here.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised by the bribe pickup. Yeah.
That said, on balance, I feel like this is a pretty even match.
This is a very even match.
I think
both teams not having any astounding development on any one piece.
Yeah.
They both have like relatively leveled up pieces against each other. Yeah.
I think Massacre's got a bit of better ball moving development at this point. Like the Wolves have high speed, but they don't have anything. Like there's no Agi up Wolf.
Right.
And then the Ghoul is only like the Ghoul's like got block, which is good, but doesn't. Massacre's got like the blodge catcher, another catcher, the movement up thrower. It's just a lot of flexibility for getting the ball where he wants.
Yeah, I mean, sure, he has the movement up werewolves that can make plays, but he doesn't really have the backup for those wolves.
Yeah.
in the event things aren't close enough.
I
And
think
Massacre has the ability to just run away very easily should he
right.
decide to.
And he's got a bench, so the threat of like dirty player fouling is less, I think, less intimidating.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would give I would give Massacre the edge on this one. Plus he's on stream, so
Streamer right.
that's right.
Yeah, I'd agree with you. Definitely going to be an even match decided by inducements and what actually happens naturally.
Yeah, I mean, I think like early, like you could see things shift dramatically, like pretty early on, if someone gets some removals early or something like that.
Right.
But you got this one.
The next one, we got our Dark Elf House of Windsor versus the Blizzard Lizards. Blizzard, 1660 Dark Elves and 1470 Lizard Men.
Okay.
So almost a 200k TV difference in favor of the Lizards. Actually, House of Windsor has a little bit of cash to burn. They're at 190k, so probably 40k drop in cash.
Right.
So that brings it down to 1620. So that would still be about 150 right on the dot. So that's a wizard potentially.
And I think a wizard would be pretty appealing.
Very easy pick, especially against
like you're up against elves.
Especially against dark elves, and having an AG5 skink that can just run in and pick up the ball wherever it is after the lightning hits, regardless of whether it's in a cage or not.
Yeah.
2+ dodging wherever you want is always nice. They'll be missing their tackle block Saurus in this match, which sucks.
Yeah, you want that tackle,
definitely hurts in this matchup.
Yeah.
With 5 lodge pieces on the board.
True.
One of them is a Raj. That's super. Versus the other side, which has 2 tackle pieces. So the skinks aren't necessarily safe. If those tackle pieces are a part of the cage or a part of the screen, those skinks aren't nearly as safe going in and out.
Yeah. Blitzer only needs one assist to get 3 dice.
Oh yeah, that
strength up 1.
And that blitzer has strip ball, and strip ball is something I've been thinking about picking up. I kind of kicked myself a little bit about not having strip ball yet, because that ability is super nice to have, especially against a lot of the teams that don't have sure hands.
Right.
But yeah, this one is it's a match where the dark elves are much more developed compared to the lizards. It's really going to come down to, can the Blizzards find the removals, and can those skinks stay safe in this match?
Yeah.
I think they do have relative safety, and 2 of the skinks having blodge step, and which is super nice. So we'll probably see a little bit of difficulty if you can't get the 3 tackle pieces on those pieces. But once again, those are tackle pieces.
That's a lot of tackle pieces.
Their agility 4, they have dodge.
Yeah, they're.
It's going to be hard to protect those skinks if which coach is this again? Is this Zoro?
Cobbs.
Yep, Zoro.
Oh, Zoro, yeah.
Yeah. If Zoro can't keep his skinks well guarded, there's a very real threat to them. I think
I like House of Windsor on this one.
I'd be giving this to the Dark Elves, this one.
Yeah.
There's just so much development in comparison to a kind of a lack of development, and even more so with that tackle piece being out is that's a very unfortunate time for that tackle piece to be out.
And I'll have a loner skink too, so it'll be 5 Saurus, 5 skink.
And the crop. Yeah, Massacre mentioned that both of these are leading the division right now.
Oh yeah.
Both of these coaches. So this is probably a match to watch right now.
Yep. No. Oh yeah. Okay. That both the lizard teams are top of the div. But House of Windsor has a much higher touchdown differential.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this will put someone up on top.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
But yeah, I do like House of Windsor for it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just a matter of being a little more developed and having tackle pieces, which is going to hurt if it can get its kicks in on those skinks, which is going to be hard.
Yep. So
that brings us to the next one. I'll let you take it.
Men of the West and Orc and Beans. Got about a 130 TV difference right now. No one has any excess cash, so.
Mm-hmm. So this is probably where it's going to stay.
Yeah, Orc and Beans is down a Blork due to armor bust. So that's an unfortunate development on their side.
Mm-hmm. That's a guard piece missing in a match where you really need the guard. Yeah,
and I don't see. I mean, I guess he could recycle it, so that would at least get him. He'd be back up to having 4 of them.
He could recycle it.
I don't know if he recycle it. I am
of the mind that at this point in time, he's probably not going to recycle it yet.
Yeah.
You probably want to wait until at least that Black Orc picks up block, so you don't have 2 no block Black Orc on the pitch at one time. That's what I would imagine.
I mean, it's, the no block Black Orc is better than the no block lineman that he's going to get this week. Mm-hmm. But I think having the extra guard, honestly, like even with the armor. Yeah, that's a hard choice.
Yeah, it's definitely one he probably has to mull over whether he keeps it or not right now.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if he kept it though.
Yeah,
because developing Black Orc blockers is a pain.
Oh yeah,
a real pain. Big A could tell you all about it. Manhack looking very developed at this time. 2 of his catchers are very well developed. He's got the Blodge guard step catcher, super annoying to deal with.
Yep.
He's got the movement 9 sprint catcher that's going to go wherever it pleases.
Oh yeah.
Honestly. He's got the blitzer that's super leveled up. Got it's tackle palm juggernaut. We've got just overall, it's a very solid human team at the moment at this TV.
Yeah.
Just very, very strong looking in this match. It's definitely going to be an uphill battle for Slow Rider, in my opinion. Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with you, Major, because I have to live with AV8, and it works out fine.
Who I wouldn't kill for AV8 on more of my team.
In this matchup, just looking at it straight, missing that guard strength 4 piece is gonna hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Manhack just has so much more speed. And it's proven that he's a relatively strong coach, so I would give this one to Manhack personally.
Yep. I'm with you.
And that leads us into our last match of the mixed division, the Midnight Special versus the Wild Skullbashes, Torlar and Forvisk. 1150 Amazons versus 1500 Orc. That's a massive TV difference.
That is a huge TV difference.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to Midnight Special? Did they like die a lot last game?
Did take. I think they took a strength bust.
Yeah,
in their last game.
I guess they've had a bunch of other. They lost some fairly developed blitzers and catchers at some point in the past.
They just had a rough time holding on to pieces. It
Yeah.
looks like, oh yeah, their blodge step catcher died. That's what happened last match.
Uh-huh.
And that's a lot of TV to go away.
It is a lot of TV to go. Yeah.
That's I think
Proud Mary.
that's 110K that just went away. So
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So they're down one player. You could potentially, they have enough cash to pick up a new catcher, which I wouldn't be surprised by. So you could probably add another 70K on. So their actual TV would probably be 1170. I can't imagine them not picking up another catcher after losing that one to replace it.
I think that's right.
Versus Torlar. Torlar with the relatively developed team in comparison. With
a lot of linemen for an orc team. That's
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 linemen.
That's a deep bench for
very deep bench. He's got the 13 players.
Yeah.
He's got a guard troll. He's got the 4 black orcs. But the black orcs not finding too much development so far.
Yeah.
2 palmers.
He lost
a
dirty player.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that. One of the dirty players got
took a strength bust, it looks
strength bust. Yeah, you don't hold on to that.
No.
Strength bust is dead. Unless you're a knob blower. And at that point there's no different. I think there's strength 1. He still has a dirty player. Torlar is very much not afraid to take the fouls. I think it might have been him that had the double expulsions. I can't remember exactly. I wouldn't be surprised given his composition if he was the one that had the double expulsions.
This is a tough one to call. There's like
because the big thing is no tackle on Torlar's team whatsoever.
Exactly. I was just going to say the same.
Yeah. That's going to be the biggest thing that's going to hold him back is all of this team has dodge. So finding those hits is going to be a little harder on those key pieces.
Yeah.
They'll find the hits on the line women through the 2 or a 6. But on the key pieces like the blodge guard or the tackle mighty blow, it's going to be so much harder. It was Major's game.
Yeah.
It was the Orc and Beans. 2 goblins were expelled.
And I mean, Midnight Special only has two of the linos that don't have either block or wrestle. Yeah, that's. I think Torlar is going to struggle to
thrower and potentially 2 catchers that don't have block or wrestle.
Yeah. I just think Torlar is going to struggle a little bit with his primary game plan of beat them up and.
It's just not as clear cut as a lot of the other matches were.
Yeah. What do we expect for inducements? I mean, at what did we say? It was going to be another
3. They're
1170?
probably going to be at 1170.
So
going into this match.
So 210, 230,
somewhere around there. They induced Zara the Slayer in their last match. So
330.
330.
Yeah.
We might see another star player.
Yeah.
If they don't decide, since they didn't decide to go like Wizard and whatever else in their last game, I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't take a Wizard and just went another star player in this match.
I feel like a Wizard is not that helpful in this match against the Orcs.
The most it could do is you lightning the ball carrier and just run away with the ball.
Right, but I think
opportune time.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be tricky to. I mean, I guess we have to see. I'm thinking sort of a big A style orc. If they're caging up and sort of doing the slow march down the field, there's like just not going to be that many opportunities for a lightning bolt that gets them easy access to the ball.
Right.
I mean, they could go for the Hail Mary fireball, but I think a star player is going to might get them more value.
Mm-hmm. If they take Zara the Slayer again, she has the stab skill, which might be able to do some work against armored 9 orcs.
Yeah.
But that's all I can think of. I'm really bad about knowing star players.
I think do Amazons get, what is it, Slibley maybe? I think they're. I know I've looked this up before. Let's see, star players for Amazon. So at 330, they could get Zara the Slayer. They could get Bertha Big Fist. So Bertha's strength 5. It doesn't say anything about. I don't know about skills on any of these, unfortunately. Zara's strength 4.
Mm-hmm.
There's Roxana, who's movement 8, agi 5, but only AV 7. Yeah.
This one's a little. It doesn't feel quite clear cut just based on the levels and such.
Yeah.
Corlar's definitely the more developed orc team, but against Amazons with no tackle is kind of rough.
Yeah.
It's really going to come down to the hits that he can get in this match. So I wouldn't be too surprised if the Amazons managed to make it out of this not too much worse for wear. Man, this is one of those times where I wish I could call a draw.
Right?
Because it's just not so obvious. I'm gonna say I believe in Blodge and I believe in Dodge, and I think the Amazons are gonna come out of this pretty all right.
All right, I'm with you on it.
That wraps up our mixed division, and we're looking at week 4 for Americas, where 2 games are already played. So our work's cut out for us this week. First game of it is Super Jail versus Dark Elves Rising. 1360 orcs and 1370 Dark Elves.
Dark Elves
Open
will not
getting
have a
some
witch elf.
TV trim for this match.
Yeah.
Not dead, just not here.
Yep. No kick piece either, so can't play games with can't play attempt to steal games with kicking it short or whatever.
Super Jail has a relatively developed team. Block almost on everything. Just one lineman that doesn't have it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, one black orc blocker doesn't have it.
I was actually going to say it's a little on the underdeveloped side of the orc teams that we've got in the league.
Four orc teams, and at this point in time, yeah, they're a little less developed. They do have the block troll though, super nice.
Yeah.
Versus OpenEye, who has the stat ups. He's got a couple of blodge pieces. He has a guard piece. Some more dodge pieces. One thing that Super Jail is missing right now is tackle in general. So finding the hits on these blodge pieces is going to be a pain. We're potentially going to see OpenEye pick up a Witch Elf, actually. He does have 140k in the bank, and he did lose a Witch Elf last, or 2 matches ago.
Yeah, I think he'll probably pick one up, especially since his other one is out. I think having a Witch Elf, being able to threaten the Surf a little easier.
Excuse me.
So that would put the TV would tip the TV balance a little bit. Super Jail would have whatever a Witch Elf worth of inducements.
Be 120k in inducements.
Yeah. So he doesn't have any dirty players, so probably not a bribe. Babes seem a little not useful. Maybe just scum might scum could scum a wizard to stop the runaway.
He could also potentially pick up another lineman and then get a bribe. I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have the bench right now, but no reason not to have it. I think.
This one just feels like it's kind of an open ice favor simply because the lack of tackle is going to keep a lot of his dodge pieces relatively safe.
Yep.
As long as he doesn't get in a fist fight with the orcs, he'll be fine for the most part.
Yeah.
And having a speed advantage will really help as well, especially with that movement 9 blitzer going wherever the hell it pleases.
Yes.
Open Eye did show he's not afraid of the fighting if he needs to. So, and getting that block on that guard lineman is super nice as well. I could see this going pretty decently for Open Eye.
Yep. I think I would say I have a general of opinion of, unless there's a bunch of extenuating circumstances, betting on the elf team is not a bad idea. But yeah, I think I'm happy to tip it Open Eye's way. So then the next one was Zon Fishing and Natural Iceman, which has already been played. King Fu picking up.
Hard to speculate on how a game will go when you have the result.
Indeed.
I am partial to the idea of just skipping this and saving it for the recap.
Yeah, that sounds fine to me.
As much fun as it would have been to speculate on how the match will go, the match went.
Yeah, there's not much to say about a match that has already gone that we wouldn't say next week when the rest of the matches have also gone.
So, next up we have Heldrum and...
myself.
And yourself. Yep. 1550 Undead and 1580 Norsemen. A little bit less than that. 1550 Norsemen once you trim the TV a little.
Yeah, I gotta figure out what I'm spending it on. But
I wouldn't hate a 13th player, especially as armor.
I think that's where I'm leaning towards, which means it doesn't actually trim it quite as much as I think it'll land right at 1550 as well.
Heldrum has 14 players on his side, so
yeah,
he definitely has a deep bench.
Yeah, he's got a deep bench. He's got that dirty player zombie. I'm definitely not. It's going to be a harder. Well, I mean, not that Big A was an easy snowball to start. So,
it's definitely a match where one of your biggest targets is also going to be one of your harder targets to hit. He's got 2 Blodge Ghouls, one of them with movement up.
Yeah.
3 Blodge Ghouls, one of them with movement up, and the other one with sure hands and sidestep, which will be hard to get the beat on them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be one of those. I mean, I don't have a lot of. I've just got the one tackle piece, so I'm going to have to make as best advantage as I can of my my pseudo tackle with having frenzy on all my pieces.
Right. I mean, you get 2 chances to hit pieces with frenzy, so finding a 6 in those 4 dice rolls is definitely very possible.
Right. Exactly.
So it might not even matter if you have tackle or not when you hit them enough.
That's the hope. That would be the hope.
But in terms of pure punching power, you definitely have more of an advantage with all of the frenzy and the block. and
Yeah.
you've got the 3 Mighty Blow pieces. In comparison,
He's got 2 Mighty Blow on his on the mummies,
which are super slow. And,
yeah.
And you having a baseline movement that's much quicker definitely favors you heavily.
Last time I played him back in college, I remember him being very effective at keeping his mummies like in the fight. I wasn't able to really get away from them. Yeah. So that's definitely something I'm concerned about. Is just kind of can I? Blodge mummy indeed.
Yeah, a whole blodge mummy is terrifying, especially if that were to get guard and stand firm. That thing's not being moved anymore.
He has what is a stadium? Oh, riot and pitch invasion. Okay, so that's what's going to be active, I think. So I'm not going to get any help from one off. I mean, he's got the fan factor anyway, so.
Excuse me.
Not really gonna. No chance for those sorts of random events.
This is really going to come down to if he can get a good armor breaks on you, or if you can stay relatively safe and get the armor break on him.
Yep.
It's just going to be a case of who's going to snowball first.
Right.
And it's a match where it's definitely not clear cut, just because you're both relatively even in terms of development. Having 2 strength 5 pieces with development that's huge for the undead team in general. It is terrifying, quite frankly. I hate the fact that I'm facing him so late, because that's just more development he's going to have by then.
Yeah.
This one...
Massacre, I think the way that Rebel.net sets it up, it does have the home team on the left. I don't know. We'll have to see. I guess we'll see whether this is actually true. But I thought that basically the left-hand team is the team that whose stadium gets used.
I do remember one of the admins telling what it was.
Yeah.
But I just can't remember off the top of my head.
Yep.
I think this is a match where I'd be willing to give it to you. When it comes to blocks, you definitely have an advantage in getting those hits in, and getting multiple. So finding pals isn't something that's too hard for you to do.
Yeah. I'm like, again, thinking back to our game in college, which I think happened on the earlier side. And I think it was when it was definitely it was when I was playing less aggressively. Like I sort of anticipate my intention will be to, more or less try and base up against his zombies and just get them off the pitch as much as I can. So that I have a numbers advantage, even if I can't maintain it because of the regen and the. I guess Thick Skull keeps them on the pitch, right? They don't have Thick Skull. Yeah.
They just have armor 8.
So I don't know. That would be my hope, as just to get at least temporary numbers advantages.
Get number advantages in some fashion.
Yeah, and then
not
push
a bad
that.
To go for.
Because
yeah, if you put on the pressure, you definitely have a lot more aggressive power in comparison. And he's got a little more kind of utility power. Yeah. So it's really going to come down to, can your aggression take on his control, kind of deal.
Right.
And as long as you don't let those slippery ghouls fly by,
yeah,
you should have a good handle on the game in general. It's really going to come down to, can you get your hits on those ghouls?
Yeah. Yep.
Because against undead teams, you always go after those ghouls.
Yeah.
I'd be willing to give it to you.
All right.
Definitely a game I'd be interested in watching.
We're scheduled for Saturday night, so
I will keep my ear to the ground as long as I'm not busy.
Yeah. 10. I think I said 10:30. Our plan. So you're up next. You and Valea.
Mm-hmm. The last match we'll be doing.
Yep.
It's 1620 Amazons versus my 1510 humans. As I mentioned before, well, honestly, both of our teams found an Agi up level from our last game, which is super nice. I also found a level up on a lineman that I went ahead and picked up a block on.
Nice.
Because one of actually a big part of a human team is actually those lineman pieces sticking around and being annoying.
Right.
You know, that's kind of, I don't like seeing this because I just realized that Charles VIII has played a total of 2 games and has received 2 MVPs.
Nice.
I don't like to see that.
Yep.
In terms of guard, we're both even, right on the mark even. Both of us 4 guard each. One of the disadvantages I have is I only have 1 tackle piece. But this isn't a matchup where I would want to get in a pure fist fight.
Right. He's much more going to be the one wanting to push the fight to you.
It's not to say I can't fight, but it's not something I'll be looking to do for the most part. On the flip side, they also only have 1 tackle piece.
Yep.
So my few dodge pieces I have, you can't cover them all with that tackle piece.
And
Valea does have a lot of maneuverability with the 3 Agi up dodge pieces, which is kind of spooky. And one of those Agi up pieces being the thrower that has sure hands as well.
Yeah.
Is something that's a little scary to see. Because that is just able to go and potentially pick up the ball wherever it wants to pick up the ball.
Right.
And having the maneuverability with both of those guard pieces able to dodge where they want and get that guard into places that they want is also a kind of a scary concept to deal with. Having agility up on both of those guard is really big.
Yeah. You do have both the speed and the strength advantage, though, so there's something to be said for that.
I definitely have a good speed advantage. I am a little quicker than the movement 6 baseline.
Yeah.
So getting away is something I can do. But something to keep in mind is that movement 6 isn't that slow.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
so
you can
it's not something I can completely rely on.
Right.
It's really going to come down to if I can get some removals going on the armor 7 pieces and get a number advantage and make the plays and slow down their plays when they're on offense. It's definitely going to be more favorable for me.
Yep.
But this is an Amazon team. They're hard to pin down when you don't have the tackle to deal with them.
And it's a very heavy. Like they only have three. They have a 2 deep bench and only 3 pieces that don't have block or wrestle. So it's going to be a hard team to knock over.
They also have a kick piece as Massacre. So I can't really set up in a way that allows me to try to take advantage of pushing a quick score.
Right.
At least nearly as easily as I could with other teams without kick, because you'd be able to spot where I'm trying to go and just kick out of reach.
Right.
And one of the pains of having a movement 6 thrower is you can't reach, you can't go everywhere you want to go.
Yeah. Yeah, my ball carrier's movement 7, and trying to get that to a position that is like flexible enough is awkward.
Yeah, it can be. But as I've looked at, Valia is the last person without any losses in our division.
Oh.
So, as I mentioned in chat, I intend on making it so that they follow Lofty in this week and lose this match as well.
There you go.
Because the only way I can get into playoffs at this point is if I win literally every single game from here. Which is what I intend to do.
Reminds me that I should start putting data into my team.
Your little playoff.
Yeah, my playoff countdown sheet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Massacre. Valia is one of the top people in our division right now. Our division is really close overall, though. Like, everybody has a really good shot at playoffs. It's definitely not clear cut who's going and who's not.
Yeah.
It's definitely a match that it's going to be a fun match. I know that, and it's going to be tomorrow.
Nice.
So,
what time are you guys playing?
It's an uncertain time for now. It's
okay.
We have it tentatively set at 7 p.m.
All right.
But it might happen sooner. It might happen later, depending on when I have to pick up my girlfriend. So it's just gonna really come down to if I can get that or not going.
Gonna stream?
Of course.
Awesome. Well, maybe I'll catch the end of it as I'm trying to get children to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you guys start at 7, that would be. Then I'll catch the middle. But...
it's definitely gonna be a fun match. I'm gonna call my win here because I intend on going to playoffs.
There we go.
Because I'm gonna get another shot at the European coaches over in EUA and EUB. I definitely want a rematch. I definitely want to get farther in playoffs than I did in college. Yeah, it's gonna be a fun match. Valia is definitely a strong coach that I'm looking forward to facing. So this is going to be a fun one.
Yeah.
I would say that to any match, though.
Yeah, of course.
So yeah, that would be the last match because Big A and Lead Pipe already played their match.
They did. Which I have spoiled for people on stream. I apologize.
Yeah. That wraps up this week's recap.
Yep, indeed it does. Thanks for coming on, and best of luck tomorrow.
I will try my hardest.
All right, take care, folks, on the in chat. I've got a few people still left. Yeah. Good luck in your games. Heldrum's not in. I can say that. All right. Take care, everyone.
Have a good night.
You too.